Us as entrepreneurs, we're typically optimistic, we're hopeful, we're problem solvers, we're gonna figure it out. But in seasons where you're fighting against the current, you can't beat the economy.
There are challenges that a lot of people couldn't handle mentally.
Yeah.
Mentally, but I'm from the streets, man. Like I'm bred for this. Like this is what I'm made for. Like to get through.
You're not as good as you think you are during good seasons to stay grounded, and during bad seasons, it's also a good reminder to like, hey, don't beat yourself up too much. Like you're fighting against the current.
Where are the books that teach you how to? My payroll is 1.5 a year, 1.6 a year.
Crazy.
Everything that you have to pay, and it's on my name. Like I'm wearing this, like it's on me.
Bro, this was a great idea. Thank you, bro. This has been my favorite one. So here we are. It's the Wealth Gap podcast, bro.
Yes.
We just launched this channel, and it's been a responsibility that I felt connecting with people like you, brother, that has broken through the middle class. The middle class, bro, is people earning $75,000 a year. So then raza that are from the valley where I grew up, where I'm familiar with the mindset, I'm familiar with the struggle, the challenges that our people face here, but yet we're able to break through, are the people that I want to have in the podcast, bro. Mainly so that we can share some of the lessons. We were talking about it here behind the scenes. Some of the scars we've picked up, hoping that those aren't the same scars that our people pick up as well. Exactly. So, brother, thank you for being here.
Andy, thank you for having me, man. This is incredible. It's great to see you again. We haven't seen each other in a while.
Yeah.
And so I jumped when you told me to come. I jumped.
I appreciate that, brother.
Here's my schedule. I'm coming.
So let's give our people a little rundown on who we are. I know we have our brother Andy Mitocayo, who's not here, who's your partner. We'll get into that. I think you guys have been in business for 10 years now.
Yeah.
February 14th.
February 14th. That's
exactly
you're right. Going on 11 years.
So let's backtrack that. We'll talk about how we got to where you are today. But who was Larry growing up? Did you grow up in the valley? Who were you? Were you an academic kid, like going to school and all that? Or tell us a little bit about your upbringing.
So Andy and I grew up in the same neighborhood.
Okay.
In Airport District here in Modesto. And it was a really rough start to our childhood, man. It's poverty, man. My parents came from Mexico. They came and they moved in wherever they could. They worked at the factories here, the cannerías and the field.
Parents,
how that goes.
Yeah.
So my Andy lived a few houses away. I hung out with his older brother.
Really?
And we were traviesos, man, in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
We would go around, and because both my parents had to work to survive.
Yeah.
So it was easy for me when I got home from school just to open the doors and hit the street.
So my parents, when I got out of school, they clocked in. So I had all the liberty in the world. So no sé cómo era el schedule. Says
you what?
Really? So you had no restrictions?
Bro, I was by myself.
Yeah,
and
crazy.
So was Andy knows it.
Crazy.
So I grew up with them, and little by little you adapt to your real teachers are the people that you surround yourself with, and I was hanging out with OGs, bro. Yeah. OGs, old everybody though, not just like a specific group, but lots of different people.
Yeah.
And so I was getting my knowledge from all these people,
which I think is good. Which I think is good. That street smart.
Oh yeah,
is real good.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It took its toll on us. Andy was young, man. Andy was younger than me. He's hanging out with the older
cats.
Mm-hmm. And we were doing things he shouldn't have been there doing, but he was, and we built a bond. One thing that we learned in the neighborhood is loyalty.
Yeah.
So that's why I think me and Andy are so tight. It works so well because I'm not going to let him down, and he's not going to let me down, and that's what goes back and forth. And so we got through school. Andy's brilliant, man. That guy was very, very intelligent dude. Andy,
was he a scholar? Like pretty good in school?
Man, we all hit the streets, man. I mean, just
okay, got it. You could just tell he was witty. He was sharp.
Yes, exactly. If we were, under the right circumstance, maybe we would have gone to private schools or something.
Yeah.
Did all that and went down that route, but we didn't have that knowledge.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to even navigate MJC.
Yeah.
I'd go there and I'm like, how do I do this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm the first one.
Are you the oldest in your family?
The middle.
Okay.
Yeah, the middle child. So, my older brother was just never into school.
Yeah.
So, it was me,
¿Qué tal de México? ¿De qué parte son tu familia?
Michoacán.
¿De qué parte?
Cualcomán.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're from a ranchito pegado a Zamora.
Oh, yeah.
Michoacán too.
Yeah. Zamora, I've been there.
Good.
Yeah, I've been there. And, we stopped going, man, when things got really rough down there.
Yeah.
You know, you had stopped going, and with my luck, you know, they'll mistake me for somebody. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
Like
so, you know, we stopped going, and you know, we got through high school, and then it's so funny, man. You know, because I hang out, you know, in the hood.
Yeah.
I'm hanging out with all these dudes, and we have fun. It's you know, we have a bond. When I went to MJC and then went to Stan State, I had a bond with all these, like I was in a fraternity.
Yeah.
Like I had fun. I had the same bond with those dudes that I had with my homies in the street.
Yeah,
right? And same bond, but the difference was that these guys had different goals.
Right.
You know, they had different agenda.
Yeah.
You know, to be popular in the streets, you got to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know,
That's a little street cred there.
Yeah. Yeah. And over here was like, man, you got to go do something with your life, you know. It helped me a lot.
Yeah.
It helped open my eyes that I wasn't limited to this neighborhood, you know.
So you being the middle child, you said is it brother or sister?
Older brother.
Older brother didn't go to college, so you're the first one in the family to go to college?
Whole family.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Whole family.
What did you study?
English. I got my degree in English, yeah. Which is weird. I know, weird, but it's helped me so. See, at MGC, I had a teacher that was a big influence on me, like, you know, would go pick me up from my neighborhood to make sure that I was.
No way.
Yeah, bro. Like, and I
tell us how that person influenced you. Like, because I have two teachers that shifted my life too.
One of the biggest influences was in high school.
Okay.
I played tennis.
Okay.
And for fun. At first, it started as just a gaff in PE.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, like teachers started looking at me. They're like, man, you should play for the team. Started playing for the team, and ended up like third in the entire area. Like,
oh shit,
crazy. Like,
dope.
You know, I don't know why I wouldn't quit.
Right? Yeah.
So that teacher, man, would come and pick me up from my neighborhood instead of me going out in the street, pick me up to go train, to go get to work. Kept me out of the street. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll never forget it. Dan Teves, you know, and he just cared for me that much, man, to go pick me up. And, you know, I saw what he did.
That's so dope, bro.
And I didn't want to let him down. Didn't want to let him down.
Yeah.
You know, so I kept going to school, got to MJC, and, like, you know, again, I didn't know how to do any of that paperwork. Nobody taught me, you know. So, you know, I held on to my teachers, and then at MJC, I had an English teacher that just really pushed me to succeed. Like, hey, man, like, leave all that stuff where, you know, you got to come over here, and there's education to, you know.
¿Todavía andabas desde Madroso when you were in college?
No, pro.
They could almost look at you and know that you're into bad stuff outside of school.
Dude, in college, I would leave class. I'd be drinking in class. I'd be hanging out.
Shit.
Yeah. I'd have other people do my work. Like, I was
a networker, delegating.
Yeah. Yeah. I had people doing my work. I'd go, they'd, you know, during the test. You know, we'd all have. Figured it out.
Yeah.
You know, we figured it out. But that's how I got through college.
So did you ever? You graduate? You graduated?
Yeah.
And then what happens post graduation?
After college, I got in this program at Stanford.
Oh shit!
It's a business scaling. It was they're doing it through the Latino like a
Latino program.
Group.
Okay, dope.
And we went there and like I did all the coursework. We finished. I met a lot of good people there.
Yeah.
Just opened up my eyes to even more. You know what these people did. My mentor at Stanford, his name's Oscar, and he created like platforms for AT&T and T-Mobile. And
shit!
Like,
so big things.
You know? Guy's brilliant and a great person, man. Took me under his wing, helped me out, you know, and just guided me in the right direction. Just said, hey, dude, don't quit. Like, one of the biggest things is, you know, is grit. Is just get through stuff.
Yeah.
Man. You know,
that's a prerequisite for anybody looking to get into business.
When I first met you, I knew that you had it.
Really? Tell me more.
Soccer. We were talking about soccer. Like, hey, bro, I get down and stuff. Sorry, I don't mean to.
Yeah. No. You keep it real.
All right, cool. You know, and you're like, yeah, bro, I love soccer pool. Hell yeah, I'll challenge anybody. I love that, bro. You know,
a little competitive. Yeah.
That's a spirit, bro, that you have to have.
Yeah.
And not quit, be the dog in you, you know, just keep going. So I knew you had it in you. There's a lot of people, like, when you're this far into business and you see all this, the ups and the downs, and you meet people, you know, you can tell, like, this guy's going to be a good entrepreneur, this guy's not. Because at first turbulent times, they run.
They get tested.
They run. They get tested. They run.
Yeah.
And I noticed that, like, you're good, bro. Great at what you do.
Thank you, bro.
I know you're gonna do whatever you want to do in this world because I can see it.
I appreciate that. So I have a question. It's a little bit off track of what I have in mind, but so I take my job here as a leader of our organization to develop leaders. I'm discipling.
Yeah.
the men and women in our team. And there's been times that they've asked me, like, Andy, how do you connect with the Larrys of the world?
Yeah.
And I have a hard time pinpointing and giving them, like a detailed list of things that might serve them.
Right.
So when you look at someone that you're going to invest a little bit of your time on, that maybe even accept the part to do a podcast with,
right?
What are the things that you're looking for that will get you to look at the person and be like, I don't know, man. Hey, you know what, bro? I think I'm going to be a little busy right now. Maybe reach out a little later. Or this is a good dude, solid. Let me see what I can do, because we don't know how the world will play out in the future, if there's even future ventures for,
right.
You know what I mean? So
it's funny that you said that, because there's a lot of stuff I turned down. I just don't have the time or whatever. And if it's somebody that I think is definitely worthwhile, I'm all for it. And I look for whether or not they're solidified, like how far they've been in business, that they're, how solid they are, and like, because you hear things, you know what I mean? You hear things, but it's so small, and if you got a good name, or whatever, it goes a long way, man. Like what people think, and it does, whether you want to believe it or not. We'll all walk around with the credit score on it. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's powerful. So I tell our team that too.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
You're walking around, you're wearing it, whether you like it or not.
So check this out. This is important. So we were walking around with the credit score, but sometimes we may have the wrong sense of like what our true credit score is. So how do you're hearing things about, let's just say Andy.
Right.
How do you assess Andy's credit score? Do the people that are giving you their perspective or experience on like them dealing with Andy, does it matter who is giving? Like, are you also vetting who the messenger is?
No, because the messenger, like when somebody comes to me and they go, hey, that dude's a good dude or a bad dude or whatever it is, whatever the case may be, I still have to make that judgment by myself. There's people that are going to always look at things differently, man. Always. Like, you could be the best dude in the world, somebody's going to find something wrong with you. That's just the nature of the business, man. 25% of the people I've ever met probably don't like what I'm doing. They just simply don't like me. They hate me for whatever reason. The truth always prevails, man. It always shows through the cracks. You can always see it. You can see it on how they carry themselves, how they speak, who's around them. There's a lot of different variables that you look at,
So dope. Hard difficulty level is not part of the equation for me, whether it's like not too hard, pretty hard, or extremely hard. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to do it. I think about like our parents migrating from Michoacan to the U.S., where many of them didn't have friends, family to bring them in, to connect them. The type of jobs that they did, bro, those hard factory jobs. My parents did worked in agriculture for 20 years. I don't think that they were thinking to themselves, I'm going to go to the U.S. and just see how hard it is. And if it's not too hard, then I'll stay. If not, I'm going to come back. No, they're committed. They're coming to the, they're crossing the border, and they're making it happen to give us a better opportunity. So that's how I see the business side too. I'm committed to making this shit happen.
Andy, I'm confused about a lot of that, because I was 15 years old and I was working at McDonald's, and I worked there for like a year, and then Blockbuster offered me a better job. I was like, hey, Dad, I'm going to start working somewhere else. Dad's like, why? You're fine there.
Oh, shit.
Why are you moving?
Yeah.
Why? Because when they come here and they find a job,
security?
You're risking if you go somewhere else and then you give up with it.
Yeah.
Where I look back and I wonder if that's good advice or not. I look back and I think, because McDonald's managers make a lot of money. Bro.
Do they?
Come back.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they do, bro. And then they come back and they, potential ownership. And I just think about that in the long term, right?
Yeah.
And then, I just wonder what the lesson was in all that. Was the lesson like, you're doing good now, stay there? Like, I went on to Blockbuster, which ended up fizzling out and going out of business. Yeah. Like, was there any value in what he was telling me? Like, did he think things through? Did he not? Was he just scared of the chance and the gamble? Like, I wonder. I don't ask him.
Yeah.
But
so looking back, what do you think? Because I think there's blessings in all that. What I think of is I think we talked about this the last time, a few years ago when we met, was thinking of ways to retain some of your people longer, because there was a pretty high churn in the industry, based on what I recall. And you correct me if I'm wrong. So we had discussed how we can create, I don't know, like an equity incentive plan or something to retain certain people longer. So then when I think of McDonald's, I'm like, oh shit, I just connected those. I'm like, oh shit, well that maybe is something that like he might have learned from that experience. And then the Blockbuster, I don't know, man, just as entrepreneurs, just got to stay innovative, because if not, regardless of how big they may be, like, you know, we gotta change to how the new rules are being laid out, you know.
Exactly. So right, man, had I had, like, you know, if they were profit sharing or something, you're getting some kind of, you know, ownership at that time, and you held that stock till now, I'd be a millionaire. That's 35 years ago, whatever, 30 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah,
they would have had it.
Yeah,
you know. But I've always been the risk taker in the family. Like, I've always not, I don't follow rules, but like
a little rebellious. Yo también me dicen maloso, bro.
Yeah.
That's my nickname. Yeah. Maloso, because I kind of just, the masses are going one way, y este cabrón salió que anda experimenting over here.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Well, I don't know why we're built like, I don't know if there's a reason for that.
But I think, okay, well, and I want to now have us touch on Andy, mi tocayo. Is he also a risk taker, or is he a little bit more conservative? And
conservative.
Okay, so that's how me and my sister are. So like, it's a healthy thing to have a little bit of both. We need someone to make the jump, and then someone else to also retain us, restrict a little bit, because si no, nosotros a veces we're, you know, overcommitting. Yeah,
checks and balances, bro.
So tell it,
commit like crazy, and then he's like, whoa, you know.
Explain to me. Yeah, what's your vision? Like, how do you see this rolling?
I'd follow Andy. We'd probably only have one location.
Yeah.
And then if you know, maybe we wouldn't have scaled so quickly if it wasn't for me. Yeah. So it's the balance, man. You know, and I listen to Andy. I don't get angry. I don't get mad. I listen to what he says, you know, and he does the same for me.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I feel this way. No, I feel this way. And then we'll talk about it until we reach somehow in the middle.
So let's talk about Andy. How did Andy, after going to that event or that course that you did, the Harvard, was it, or Stanford?
Yeah. I made him do it too.
Okay, so both of you.
Yeah. I pushed him. The next semester he was in.
Okay, so after you graduated, did he go to college as well?
No, he took a couple classes at NJC.
So you're going to college, and you're connected to him because of his brother, but it's still the same crew?
Yeah.
And you're seeing something in him? What are you seeing in him? Because I know that there's a lot of people here that are thinking of going into business for themselves, or may already be in business for themselves, and not have the Andys of the world, your partner. Right. Your sidekick. So for me, it's Mari. Y sin Mari, nada de lo que tenemos ahorita, there's no way. I would be this mouthpiece with dreams and aspirations. You know what I mean? So then, without that, the integrator is what we call Mari, nothing would be structured. So then, like, how did you find the Andy? How did you know he was the right partner? And just anything you want to share on, like, how you guys formed the partnership.
You know what's funny is it goes beyond just business, because even when we were kids, you know, even though I hung out with his brother, him and I had a good relationship all the way through.
How much younger is he than you?
6 years.
Oh shit, that's a big gap.
6 years, yeah, 6 years.
So he was kicking it with the older cats.
Yeah, oh yeah. But then he also kicked it with the younger cats. I'm like, hey bro, like, let's get to work, man. Come on, come on.
That's what's up.
You know. And he pushes me and I push him, and we go back and forth. And, you know, I think that's a big, you know, key of success. Like, we've learned how to work side by side. Great. So instead of both of us working on one project, we split up and we covered more that way. Yeah. More that way. So, I mean, it's been, you know, test, fail, until you find a home, and then you got to get uncomfortable again. Like, being uncomfortable is important.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be uncomfortable. You got to learn to like to be uncomfortable. I've read books that tell you that you can sleep on the floor one day, sleep somewhere else another day. Like, just mix it up.
Yeah.
You know, go a different route. When you drive to work, go this way, you know. I'm an adventurer like that, though. I was in real estate a long time ago, and I was the guy that would go out and I'd just bring deals. Bring them.
To find you.
Paperwork? Mi amigo.
That's how I am, too.
I could bring deals. I'll bring them all day. But when it comes to, like, you know, the paperwork and all that, man, I gotta hire a good.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
It's sometimes either you're people-oriented or task-oriented. So then it said that sometimes good operators turn CEOs. Like, you're really good at doing whatever the job is. There's times that people that are really good at numbers turn CEOs, but in reality, they're numbers people. And then there's times where CMOs turn CEOs, which is like, in my case, me. I'm good with people. I like the promoting side, the vision, the connecting, you know. So then, yeah, we need sometimes a little bit of the opposite.
We do. The exactly right. And I think it's the same thing in my marriage, you know. And by the way, congratulations again.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Y ahorita aquí no lo podemos decir. Pues sí, aquí tenemos un suerito. Sí, we're going to toast to you guys in a little bit. My brother came through with a little suero. Cheers, brother. Cheers.
But it's the same thing in a marriage, you know. You got to have that balance.
Yeah.
Have to. Yeah, it's important. I've taken personality tests.
Yeah.
That like our investors will pay for. It's like $10,000 for the test.
Yeah.
You and I are probably the same personality, right?
Yeah.
So we're considered like the Lamborghini of CEOs, of business owners, because we navigate, we take risks, we take those risks, we take them. And then there's like Andy, he was like an architect type, so he paid close attention to
the details,
his craft, right? It's incredible because these personality tests somehow, some way, come up with the exact same thing to talk about.
Crazy,
right?
So let's talk about the business. How did that start, bro? How did Mango Crazy come about? I have an idea. I remember the base story, but then I'd love to hear the origin story from you.
When I got out of college, I started working in Turlock at a assisted living facility, and I moved up to be the administrator. So I had a big job.
Yeah,
I was hiring files, doing everything for this place, payroll. I was wearing all these hats. And I'm like, man, I'm bringing everybody in. Everybody's coming in. Everybody's living here. I'm getting checks cut for $300,000-$400,000 for people to come live here.
Yeah,
I need to be doing something for myself. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah,
you know. And Andy was in construction, and I'm like, Andy, like, we should do a business for ourselves. He's like, yeah, I agree. We should. Let's look around. Andy found an ice cream shop for sale on Craigslist.
Crazy.
On Floyd, our first location ever. And we started looking and scoping it out. We noticed it was mismanaged. Nobody was really going in there. And I was like, dude, let's talk to the dude, right? And we brought him, met with him at a table just like this right here downtown. And we negotiated with him. And I felt like we won the negotiation. I felt like we got a really good deal. I felt like we couldn't lose because ice cream's frozen.
Yeah.
How are we going to lose?
Yeah.
Bought it. And the next day we opened on Valentine's Day. And the rest is history, man. We just started working. We knew nothing about how we were doing. If somebody would order something off the menu, we didn't know.
You're like, wait. You're like, wait.
We'd go to we would just bust up laughing and make things. You know, and we would start talking to the customer, and they make this for you. Like, how do you like it?
Yeah.
Make it the way you like it.
Yeah.
Every day from that day forward, we only took like Christmas off, and that was it. And every other day was work. Hard work, too. Right after we got the place, like a month later, I got offered a really good job with community hospice. Vacations, good pay, weekends off.
Yeah.
My wife was like, all right, yeah, you're going to do this. And I'm on the phone, and they offered me the job, and I was at Mango Crazy, and I look back in, and I see Andy back in the back, right, and he's washing dishes and stuff.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, I can't, there's no way, there's no amount of money that could turn me away from the commitment that I made with my homie. You know,
that's what's up.
Couldn't do it, man.
And that was learned in the streets.
And they were like, what? Like on the phone after I...
Like, you're tripping.
Yeah. Like, what? What are you doing? I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I can't take it. And I hung up. And, you know, Andy knows about the story, but, you know, I was emotional, man. I'm like, dude, I just had a kid. I just got married. I had everything in front of me.
Yeah.
Like, I could have taken that road, you know? And instead I didn't. I'm like, at that point, things became to where I couldn't fail. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Like, now we have to make it.
Yeah.
And nobody was coming in at that time.
Yeah.
It's not like I had inspiration to be like, yeah, I'm going to stay here. Yeah, things are good. You weren't good, man. Ni las moscas, you know? Yeah, like, shit, man, we're sitting there, we're working every day, trying to develop product, trying to make people come in. Thanks to Modesto, man. Thanks to all the people that we know and everybody. And people started coming in, and they loved it. They kept coming, lines out the door. Things went good.
Crazy. So go ahead.
Then we got, we went to the next one, a drive-through location. And then, we just kept growing after that. But, it was like a dream, man. And things were good. I mean, things were great. I had more money than I knew what to do with for a long time. And then after so many years of a drought and just good business years, because, obviously we sell cold product.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we start seeing turbulence, after all the free money's gone. 2022, 2023, for our San Francisco location since COVID. They shut everything down. You couldn't go into these places. The politics are kind of backwards over there. They decriminalized street vending, which to each their own. I support street vendors, all that. But when you have a place and you're paying so much money for the place, right?
Yeah, right.
And you're working every day and you abide by all the rules and laws and everything that they have you abide by.
Yeah.
And then they decriminalize street vending and everybody comes right in front of your place.
Oh,
you're bringing the people, so they're trying to short stop you right out front.
Damn, that's crazy, bro. Shit that we don't think about. I
never would have thought that people would leverage my doors there to be able to get
the business.
And so that's the problem against the city, and I talk crap to everybody, bro. They were almost going to arrest me.
Really?
Yeah, they threatened to arrest me if I wouldn't stop because, dude, the Port Authority, the landlord, the police department, like nobody would help me. And I'm not saying get rid of the street. I'm not saying that.
Yeah. I'm
just saying allocate a location if you're going to allow it and decriminalize.
Kind of like the loncheras, donde las tienen así, kind of
organized. Yeah, organized. They, you guys want to sell there. But when you open my doors and right to the sides of the street, it's selling the same thing I'm selling. Yeah. My revenue went like this, and nobody was backing me up. It's tough. It was tough to deal with, but it scars again, right? And then how do you navigate things when people all of a sudden stop spending? Interest rates goes up.
That's crazy.
It's intentional, right?
Yeah.
This is the government saying we want to slow everything down.
Yeah. Consumer spending.
When you start blaming yourself, things start going right. Everybody starts pointing the finger. Things start getting chaotic. Mm-hmm. How do you navigate that? There's no books.
Yeah.
There's no books that teach you how to navigate a COVID-19 business time.
Yeah, no, you can't.
You got it
it's a black swan.
We just said, you know what? One thing that we're not going to do is we're not going to close. Screw them. We're going to stay open. We're going to keep working, man. That's what we know how to do. Let's keep doing it. And we did it. We stayed open, like, against everybody that was telling us not to. We're like, screw it.
Some of the takeaways there, and I'd love for us to talk about our scores.
Yeah.
What I've been told is, like, during good seasons, when you're riding a wave, stay grounded, because many times you don't want the ego to get in the way. It's almost like you're not as good as you think you are during good seasons, so stay grounded. Yeah. And during bad seasons, it's also a good reminder to, like, hey, don't beat yourself up too much. Like, you're fighting against the current. So you surviving is actually, like, enough to just remind you that you're built for this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I couldn't tell you, like the things that I've seen and the things that I've gone through. There are challenges that a lot of people couldn't handle mentally.
Yeah.
Mentally, but from the streets, man, like I'm bred for this. Like, this is what I'm made for. Like, to get through. What could be worse than being poor as a kid?
Yeah. Oh, wait. So let's talk about that, because one of the lessons that I would love for you to share is, well, one, where does that grit come from? You talked about grit before the camera started rolling. Like, you need that shit.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's something that you picked up from, maybe, I don't know, is it parents? Did you pick that up from seeing what they did?
Too. My dad's like the most patient dude in the world, man. Like,
so where did that come from? Where did, like, the grit to just whatever life is throwing at me, I'm not fucking quitting.
Yeah,
and let me get this refill going, because I'm feeling good, brother. Pásame el hielito, bro.
Yeah, you too, Phil. It'll be going great.
Thank you, Sally.
That's a good question, man. I mean, I try to look for that. I try to figure that out. Like, I was just, for as long as I could remember, I've just always wondered, man, I just, do you my cousin,
do you love to win or hate to lose?
Both.
Good question. That's what's up. Yeah, no one said both, bro. I like it.
Yeah. Both, but I don't know, man. I've just always had that, like, I got a ton of awards in soccer and baseball, everything in high school. I got the blue noted down every single time. The artist, like, I wouldn't quit. Well, I don't have talent like a soccer player has talent.
Yeah.
I don't have
talent it was work ethic.
I would quit.
Yeah.
I would keep running. Yeah. I just kept running. I just kept going. I would outlast everybody else.
So it's usually will or skill.
Yeah.
So the skill will develop, but if you, yes, it's like hard work beats talent every day. It's one of those. Yeah. You got to have the heart. You got to have the will.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I definitely don't feel like I'm the sharpest tool in the shed. I have a lot of smart friends, bro, and they just never swung for the fences.
Yeah.
And the reason why maybe I've progressed a little bit more in life is because I've been swinging for the fences and sticking with it, even though I've been taking ass whoopings since I started.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's a lot.
That's just crazy.
You know what's funny that you said that, bro?
What?
I read this quote by Babe Ruth that says that like he doesn't care what his coach say. He's gonna swing for as hard as he can every time, and he may strike out, but at least he gets to live with the thought that he tried as hard.
That's just fucking dope.
Sick, right? Sick, but and look where he became. He also struck out a lot, but what's he remembered for?
Yeah, calling the shot. That's fucking dope. Okay, so then we talked about riding a nice wave, and then the winter, this turbulent.
Yeah.
So what have been the lessons here? Like what would you coach yourself on if you could go back before the winter to prep for it?
That's a good question, man, and I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer to that. I think, you could always ask for help, but I think times like this, you can't go over them, you can't get under them, you have to go through it. And you have to learn to cut the fat when it's necessary. You have to look at your revenue, and you have to really take a look at your numbers, because your revenue is going to depend, what your payroll should be.
Yeah,
what your
like a certain percentage?
Yeah.
So you're always protecting your margin.
So now, no matter how good you do, you're protecting your margin. No matter how bad you're doing, you're always living within those means. We didn't know.
When money's coming in, you're good because you're always in the green.
Great.
So I get coaching by Patrick with David, and the first thing he told me is get lean immediately.
Yeah.
Because us as entrepreneurs, we're typically optimistic, we're hopeful, we're problem solvers, we're gonna figure it out. But in seasons where you're fighting against the current, you can't beat the economy. Like, play by the new rules, and the economy now is inflation is high, consumer spending is going to be less, so cut your fat. Right? Hice un desmadre, bro. Corté people. It hurts your heart sometimes because you get emotionally attached to people, to material stuff. Don't think that material things define you. Like, bro, get rid of everything. So that's what helped me survive the storm.
Yeah, that's what we did. Immediately cut the fat, cut the lower performing stores, cut everything that we could cut, and run on raw. Run raw, man, and make sure that your business you're paying close attention to the things that are happening in your business.
So what were the biggest mistakes? Now, so we talked about knowing our margins. How much our payroll should, más o menos, what percentage should be?
Payroll would be great if it stayed around 25% of your revenue. Cost of goods, 25%.
Okay.
Also.
So knowing those margins. So now you look back and you're like, Larry, Andy, hey, you guys need to know these margins. What else? So that's one. Yeah. That's money, bro. What's other one?
That's probably the most important. Yeah. But also, when you have good employees, you do really well. When your employees, when you're not engaged or you're spread too thin. I was spread thin.
Yeah.
I had so many places I needed to visit.
Yeah.
So I gave up on the focus of spending quality time and training with my employees. I got to learn to grow that muscle all over again. At the rate that we grew was fast too.
Crazy. Okay, so would you have slowed down? You going back before the?
No, hell.
No, you. It's still cool.
Yeah, I would have done it a million times because it's taught me things I would never have learned.
Okay.
Now I think I can walk through fire, man. Like it builds you different.
Yeah.
It builds you different, man. Like you're different. You don't care. You're like Donald Trump. Like fuck you, fuck. What are you gonna do to you?
Oh yeah.
What else is there left?
I'm this fucking Donald Trump. Yeah. So look, before the Donald Trump comment, bro, this was a great idea. Thank you, bro. This has been my favorite one. Okay, so we talked about being spread thin and not being able to touch and spend quality time with your key players. So my coach, when the season turned, and we were entering the storm, he said, I need you to get a list of your roster, your team, get your roster in front of you, and I need you to identify who your top 10 players are. Like, I know you love everybody, everybody's close, and everybody. Okay, who are your top 10 players? Like, who can you not lose?
Yeah,
and you need to make sure you're protecting those. So then I lost one out of my top 10. But if had I not been advised that, uno no sabe a veces dónde invertir el tiempo. Everything needs your attention. You know what I mean? So then that was great that you shared that, bro.
Everything needs your attention, man. You know, but so there was one time, man, and I don't know why I'm even saying this, but it's just funny. I was playing soccer. They put me on the front pole on a corner kick. Ball came. I got nervous, hit off my stomach, and win my own goal. I don't know how you play soccer, but man, you learn from that stuff. So next time,
So here's a good thing. One of the things that, man, I'm losing my sharpness with this shit, bro. But one of the key qualities for ultra successful people was how quickly they bounced back from setbacks. So, like, that would have been a setback. So my question to you, scoring that auto golazo with the stomach, would have been, how did you respond the rest of the game? Were you fucking with your head down, or were you like, fuck that, now I'm going to score one?
Score a goal, bro.
That's what I'm talking about. So, see, that's what it's important. That's what's important, how you bounce back.
Scored a goal on one of my friends who was a defender at Davis, and I put it right to the left. But
oh, shit.
That's grit.
Yeah.
You know, you ever read Napoleon Hill?
Which one? Think and Grow Rich? Yeah.
It's all, his whole story is about grit, man. It's about if you're really in love with what you do and you're passionate, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out. Luckily for me, man, I had great mentors.
Good.
I've had mentors that have done this.
Yeah.
I've had mentors younger than me that have been billionaires and down and up and down and up, and they know these lessons.
Yeah.
They know them. I didn't know them. I don't know where to get that information from. You know, it's hard to find somebody that has that experience.
Yeah.
And now, moving forward, I could pay that to the rest of the people, man. I can be like, look, don't make this mistake. I made this one. Don't do this. I could guide you. Do this. I don't know what I'm going to become, Andy. You know, you tell me that you bring me here because, you're quite successful in this and that, but I don't look at it that way, man.
How do you look at it?
I look at it like success is just so small, bro. Like it's built on this mountain of nothing but failures.
Oh,
failures and failures and failures. And at the top, you might get, 10 minutes of you cutting a ribbon, opening up a new store, slapping some high fives, and then it's right back to work, man. I tell people celebrate when they buy houses. You're in real estate. Celebrate. Hell yeah, I bought a house. Yeah. That's when the work starts. That's when you got a 30-year mortgage ahead of you.
Crazy.
Like, celebrate when that shit's paid off. Celebrate that, because that's the important time.
Yeah. So there's three, now adding more of the, I love all this shit, bro. Thank you so much, bro. I love this conversation, bro. Cheers. So 3 qualities of ultra successful people. One is supreme confidence in yourself and your abilities. You have like this superiority complex of like, I know I'm not average. I know I'm built for something greater. The second one is you're also always very insecure about like, I could be better. Like I got so much more to go. Like I shouldn't be patting myself on the back. And the high fives are cool, but like, I don't want to believe it fully. Yeah. And the last one is that you're focused. Like if you know you're gonna grow mango crazy to whatever your ambitions are, as other opportunities present themselves, they're called like the girl in the red dress. You block it. You stay focused. So the ultra wealth. So then you saying that. You don't believe all the high fives and like you just you get back to it. It made me think of that.
Yeah, I have goals, man, and I want to achieve those goals. And I do like I talk at a lot of different schools at the universities, and I talk. And one of the things that I always say, people are like, "How long did it take you to achieve your goals?" I'm like,
"I'm not even goals. Yeah, like, I'm still in progress."
Yeah, I don't have money. All the money that I make, I put back in the business.
También, bro.
I put it back in the business. I want to grow it.
Yo le digo a los del equipo, because I salary myself very, very, very just low wage. Yeah. Si saco yo mi personal bank account, bro, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to be like, espérate, Larry, back up, bro, chill. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, the business account is a little healthier, but it's because payroll is also crazy. Yeah. But,
talk about it.
So then let's talk about the sacrifices that the business owner has to make when you commit to growing a business. A business.
Yeah.
Because when it was Andy, before I committed to a team and building what we have going on now, no, but I had a Lambo rolling here, so it was different. So what's the difference there? And I think that's maybe something that a lot of business owners struggle with, which is why they stay as small business owners and don't cross over to like, oh shit, they built a business.
Right. Fortunate or unfortunate for me, I've been through a lot of shit, Andy.
Yeah.
Good and bad, beautiful, ugly.
Yeah.
I've been through a lot for my age, and the things that I've been through, and the losses that I've made, the friends that I've lost, the people who've passed away, the business failures, the business successes, all that taught me a lot in my life. So, during the last recession, I had lost my house. So then I told myself the first thing I'm going to do when I get another house is pay it all immediately. I don't want to ever go to this again. So that's what I did. Mm-hmm. So the lessons are in the, they're in the experience, dude. They're in the experience. So like, if you think you're going through a bad time, like, it's probably the best time.
Yeah, sometimes it's not till you pass. There's times where we go through certain things, and while we're directly under that storm, we hate it, and we label it a misfortune.
Yeah.
Like, this sucks. But once we pass it, we look back usually, and we're like, man, I'm glad I went through that shit. Because I learned that.
Yeah.
So, ¿qué recomendación le darías como en este caso, como te digo, a mí que apenas me voy a casar, any young couple that is going to start a business, prep for what? Because I know that one of the things that I was very honest disclosing with my soon-to-be wife is I'll be a great husband, be a great father, whatever is on your bucket list. I'll be working my butt off to make sure we scratch those off. But please, like, let me do what I got to do in my business. Yeah. Like, please don't intervene. Don't ever make me feel like I got to choose. Like, I would be an unhappy husband if you pump my brakes on growing what I'm working on.
And that, it's fine in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
It's fine in the beginning. It's fine when things are great and you can talk about that, like things are fine. But it's those long nights when you come home and those long days for her, and when you have kids and everything, like,
she feels it
all night, when they're still having to come to work, when they still have to do things at home. Well, there's pressure.
Yeah.
There's pressure. And you and I, we're going to have fires everywhere.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot to deal with over here and a lot to deal with over here. But I think that you're going to be completely fine, because you and I, when we love, we really love. Like, we really put ourselves out there. And I think that's all you really need to do, man. As long as you love her and you guys move forward, and whatever problems come your way and you get through them, it's just like business.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It's figure it out.
Relationship. It's still business relationship too.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
The only difference is, is when you have one kid, like I had two kids kind of quick. They're like 18 months apart. That's a challenge. One wakes up the other one, you're up all night. One gets sick, you're up all night. And then you got to go to work and you got to perform. Mm-hmm. You can't just go to work and not perform. You got to go there and you got to be, being a business owner, bro, you put on your war boots. Like Dana White said, every day in business, you put on your war boots and you get ready for war. That's what it takes. And then when you have kids at home, bro, it's 24 hours of war. For a while, a couple of years, it's war. It is. It's hard.
How's the parenting? How are the kids being brought up? Because I have a friend who told me early on, if you're growing up without money, you show your kids how to be grateful for what they have. And when you have money, you're working on making sure you're not raising spoiled kids. Yeah. So how have your kids been?
Well, that's a good question. The older one is very frugal. He's like conscious of what everybody. He watches everything. He's a really smart kid. The younger one, he don't. He wants a Lambo when he gets older.
That's so.
So one is different than the other, and I don't know why. It's on their personality. Yeah. I don't have an explanation for how, they're doing, because I'm rough on them. I'm rough. Like, life isn't easy. I'm going to be the roughest I could be. Yeah. In football, man, they play football.
Nice.
And I make them run. I make them do, like, I put it to them, because life's not easy. I'd rather them hear from me than hear from somebody else. Like, put in your work, because that's the results you're going to see in the game. Put in your work.
Yeah, so hay un guy that I like to listen to. ¿Cómo se llama? But he basically describes life as like going through the jungle, and we'll pass creeks, and then there's wild animals that are looking to hurt you, and then you got to go through hills, and like it's just a bunch of turbulence and a bunch of crazy shit that we'd find in the jungle. So then we're just prepping them based on the roads we've traveled. So then I think it's dope that you're equipping them with like, hey, it ain't sunshine and rainbows. Like, you still got to walk through the jungle yourself. And I'm trying to prep you for that.
I've been bringing him to work with me because sacrifice, right? I have to. I bring him to work with me. I have to go do all the shopping for me and go crazy, and they're right there. And they still come, and they still do caterings with me. And they're young, man, 7 or 9 years old, like, you know, but they know, they understand, you know. Even my wife puts in a lot of work in her job, and, you know, they see all that. They see it. They see what it takes to get somewhere in life. And, you know, and right now, maybe not, you know, it's not the best time in the world for them, but they have to know what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, they have to know that there's hills, valleys, all that good stuff.
So I did a search, which was like studying the wealthiest man in American history. And it was like the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts. And despite them being as rich as like kind of Elon Musk level right now, 200 and something billion. Yeah. Historically, by the third generation, they lost all their wealth. Because they failed to disciple their little ones, bro. They failed to develop the next wave of leaders. And because sometimes we don't bring them into the work field and like to see what mom and pops do to create whatever you've created. So then, God willing, you're going to create wealth, and your job will be to create your little ones that will preserve it, that teaches their next ones to preserve it even further. That's just crazy.
It's a hard task.
Yeah.
It's not, obviously people haven't been able to figure that part out.
Yeah.
I see it, you know, even, you know, in our culture, you know, like in Mexico, like like what I hear, what I see a lot of times, you know, if the grandparents have something, the kids all want a piece of that. They buy.
Se han peleado los primos también nosotros, bro. It's crazy.
Why? I don't know.
So tell us cultural challenges that you see from our Latinos or our paisanos.
Oh man, the hate is real with our own people.
They say that the Mexican's biggest enemy is another Mexican.
Yes, it is. I don't know why. I haven't figured that out, man. And then entitlement, you know, oh, you owe me this, that, like, dude, get to work, you know, like, I'm too busy to see that. I'm too busy. I stay occupied, man. I work my ass off, and I don't pay attention to the nonsense. I avoid it. You know, one thing that I learned this year is that cutting people negativity out of your life is important.
Yeah.
And I've never wanted to do that, man. I've never lost a friend in my life.
Yeah.
I don't like to.
Yeah.
Like, I care about people that are around me. But when they don't treat you in the same way, boom, you got to axe, you know. And I'd never done that, man, until this year, man. There's some people that I just don't talk to anymore. It's made my life so much better.
Yeah.
So much better.
Yeah, so in a recent coaching call, dijo uno de nuestros guys, like, man, I value loyalty so much.
Yeah.
But then the reality is that I have learned to be loyal to those that are loyal to me. Mm-hmm. Because the truth is, when I notice that someone is not loyal to me, they don't deserve this version of me. They actually get a version of me that it would throw some people off. You know what I mean? It'd be like, whoa, what the? But it's because they prove their disloyalty. That's just crazy. So go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, you know, everybody has bad days too. You know, I just think, like, for me, for the, you know, the position that I'm in, and everybody, no matter what my circumstances are, you know, like, a lot of people don't know that, like, when you run a business, you don't have money, man. You put it all back in.
Yeah.
But from the side, from people looking from outside looking in, they're like, this guy's killing it. This guy's got everything he wants in life, and it's like so far from the truth. Yeah. And, you know, and they swear by it. They swear that you have everything. You know, and it's like, dude, to build a strong foundation, you got to really put in the work, man. You got to really put it back into your business, you know. And a lot of people don't understand that mindset. A lot don't. They just take it for what they see. You know, and it's like the guy that dresses to the nines that's just falling out. He fool a lot of people, but doesn't have $1 in his pocket, you know?
Or a real business.
That's right. Or a real business, you know, but, and it hurts. It hurts sometimes because people don't understand what it takes. Yeah. They don't know the hours you put in. They don't know method. They just assume you have it all. And it was easy. Overnight success right here, you know? Fuck.
What have been some key hires that you made that have helped you scale as much as you guys have?
It's a good question, man. I mean, I've had a lot. I've had a lot of people that have helped me get to where I'm at.
Yeah.
A lot. And then I've seen people, leave for, 50 cents more to go work somewhere else.
Crazy.
And like I try to engage them to think of the big picture. Like, guys, we can all get here together.
Yeah.
It's going to take a ton of sacrifice, but we'll get there. We'll get to where we want to be. And most of my staff is good, man. Thank God I've had a people believed in me in the stand. I don't know why. Like I'm lucky, man. I'm blessed to have all the people around.
You have a great aura, bro. Se te nota la genuineness.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky, man. I thank God first and foremost, man. Que me ha tocado mucha suerte with my employees. All of them, man. I don't. All of them. Because when I'm not there, they're the face of the business.
Yeah.
And so for them to care that much about me, to put out their best, for a paycheck that's not that much, I'm so lucky, bro. I'm so blessed compared to other businesses that these people believe in what I'm doing. It makes me emotional to think that they're willing to give up their Saturdays or Sundays. They sacrifice time with their significant others to work for me. It's like, how could I be so lucky?
Crazy.
But, and so I appreciate all of them, man. There's not just one hire that stands out. Mm-hmm. It's a whole team that does the work, and
what do you think has helped you with that? For people to choose to give up their weekends?
Just trying to be real, man. Like, hey, man, like, this is what it is. It's the truth. Whatever I tell them is going to be the truth, you know? Like, hey, guys, we got this catering. Let's do it. We're trying to get here, right? We're trying to build something. Like, I'm franchising now. I just got done with my franchising stuff maybe like 2 months ago. And now we're preparing to be able to sell franchises, which is
so dope.
Somewhere that I've always wanted to be. Me and Andy have talked about it since day one. To get here has been the hardest thing that anybody will ever know how to get.
Right.
When you think about going into an organization like, say, Pizza Hut or Jack in the Box, you go in there and you buy one. Well, they have the playbook for everything. Yeah. They've built everything.
All the SOPs.
Bro, we built every
sheet
you can believe.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's what we're in the process of doing.
Right. But like, from the colors on the walls to the systems of organizing everything. I've worked with some of the biggest architects on the planet, man. Some of the ones that build all the Starbucks, Chipotle's, that teach me things on how to, draft. Like, when you're a business owner, man, you're not just a business owner per se. You become a counselor to your employees, you become an architect, an accountant,
so many hats,
an attorney. Like, you become all this crazy stuff that you never thought that you would learn. But you learn through falling down, man. You learn through the hard knocks. I never thought I would know the shit that I know, ever, not in a million years. But you do, hard way.
So we'll end with this, brother. The last piece of advice that you have for our paisanos, specifically Raza, that's looking to launch their own business. This is for the dreamer. Yeah. Larry, right before, February 14th, 2014.
Oh, Big Nike said it the best.
Okay.
Just do it.
Oh, shit.
Because, you can sit there. I know that planning is a graveyard for business owners.
Oh, shit, because they never got started?
They have too many doubts in their minds to do it.
That's crazy.
But if you do it and just jump in, failure is not that bad, man. Like,
it's part
of it,
Yeah.
Once nothing could really fuck with you, then you're good. But if you let little things affect you and you get personal with with people's reviews, or you get personal with customers or employees, and you let that stuff get to you, you'll have too many wars to fight. But if you just, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to put these
blinders
on. Just keep going straight, and that's the key. I wish somebody would have told me how hard it was going to be. When somebody comes to me and they say, I want to open up this business, this is what it's going to be. I'm like, are you ready to do this? 7 days a week, this shit's hard. It's expensive. If you think it's going to cost you $30,000, 3x that. That's what it is. That's the truth. Oh, bro, this guy's just a hater. He doesn't want me to open a business. All right. If do it, then do it.
Yeah.
Without this advice.
Yeah.
Do it. But, just get through it. Do it and get through it.
We'll wrap with that. Brother, where do our people follow you? Is it Mango Crazy?
Mango Crazy on Instagram is probably the platform you want to follow. Facebook, Mango Crazy.
That works, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, bro. I had a fucking blast.
Bro, I love it, bro.
I had such a fucking blast. Thank you for your time, bro.
Of course.
The big brother lacing me up.